There's always that one guy, the one who thinks he's untouchable, stronger than everyone, smarter than everyone, until the day it all comes crashing down. This is Maximus, a bully, a liar, and in both of these stories, he's about to learn the hard way. That power built on fear and lies never lasts. You won't believe how this ends. Maximus charged in, eyes blazing, and glared all around, snatched little Felix's lunch, and threw it on the ground. Hot spaghetti splattered, juice sprayed his face. Gasps of horror echoed around the place. Felix froze, his face burning bright red, sauce dripping from his hair, his eyes full of dread. Maximus just cackled, cruel and wild, as Felix sat, a scorched and humiliated child. Maximus the bully, he was mean and cruel. He picked on and tormented his peers at school, in the classroom, the sports hall, and in the playground outside. When Maximus emerged, the kids would run and hide. He was the most intimidating boy in the whole of the school. When it came to football, on the pitch, he ruled. He was the school team's best striker, and his wins got him far. No one had dared to challenge him so far. But that very day, brave Felix thought, this endless torment for everyone must be fought. He bravely gathered his friends all around, and they made a shrewd plan together in the playground. They decided the best way to catch Maximus out wasn't to fight back, to scream or shout. Felix whispered to his friends in each of their ears, "We'll face him all right, but not with fear." They started a game of football. They whizzed through the air. From the classroom window, Maximus started to glare. He stomped on over, scowling hard. "What's this game?" he bellowed. "I run this yard." "Hey, losers! What are you doing? I didn't say you could play. Games can only happen if they happen my way." To Maximus's horror, the others all shouted out loud, "Maximus! We're so glad you're joining the crowd. Come and show us how you dominate at football. You're such a cool player to have in the school." His face looked enraged. Maximus was mad. They weren't meant to be delighted. They were meant to be sad. He seized the nearest ball and kicked it hard. It whizzed like a bullet across the yard. Who would it hit? Who would he make cry? The ball was about to hit Felix in the eye. Felix braced himself. He clenched his gut tight. But the ball bounced off the goalpost with forceful might. It hurtled back through the air and smacked so hard right into Maximus' nose. Blood sprayed all around the yard. "You've broken my nose," Maximus cried. He scowled through his tears and hurtled inside. The football coach found him and with a somber face, told him, "You're off the team. You've lost your place. Your bullying is ruining the team spirit for all. We don't accept this behavior in our school." His brute strength and cruelty lost him what he valued most. Without his spot on the team, he could no longer boast. His status as the greatest would rapidly decline. His own actions had lost him the chance to shine. That night, at the hospital, he stared at his phone. No messages, no invites. He was all alone. They had all turned their backs on him. What could he do? Would he accept defeat and walk away, or return with rage renewed? Just when you thought Maximus couldn't go any lower, he lied his way into danger and nearly got people killed. Drop a comment if you've ever known someone like Maximus. "Maximus, you're a liar!" Jesse screamed. "We nearly died because of you. Why would you make up that story? Not one word you said is true." Parents were panicking and teachers were mad. 5 kids had gone missing and things really looked bad. They'd gone off on an adventure inspired by a lie, told by Maximus, who used his imagination to get by. Maximus was a liar. He loved to tell tales. To his family, his friends, his creativity never failed. Every day he'd tell stories that just were not true. He always came up with something crazy and new. He had a wild imagination. He told stories to his friends. The outlandish tales he would spin knew no end. Maximus made up stories about adventures he'd never had, creatures he'd never seen. That sounded dramatic and bad. He thrived on their reactions. For Maximus, it was all good fun. He didn't mean any harm. He just wanted to entertain everyone. But one day, while hanging out with his friends at the park, Maximus told a thrilling story as it started to get dark. You know the viral trend of crazy roof selfies going around? I found the perfect place to do it in the woods outside of town. He showed them photos on his phone of influencers posing on old roof beams. Check out who's doing it. Let's give it a try. We can turn our selfies into memes. The photos looked cool. So many famous faces were jumping on the trend. No one wanted to say no. Their thirst for popularity didn't end. We'll be the first ones on this trend. We'll get so many likes. Okay, let's do it. They all agreed and headed downtown on their bikes. Maximus wildly led them. He was captivating and dramatic. The possibility of popularity thrilled his friends like magic. They approached the old abandoned gym with a roof so precarious and high. I swear if we stream this live, we'll get so many views. Our accounts will fly. What they didn't know was that Maximus photoshopped the snaps. He'd made the whole trend up to see who would have his back. He wanted the popularity. He wanted to start a trend. But what he didn't realize was his fun was about to end. They planned out a live stream adventure, believing his every word. They followed his fake facts and every made-up thing they'd heard. But as the sun started to set and they climbed the roof so steep, into their minds, doubts and anxieties started to creep. The kids were so far from home. With no way back, some of them felt their nerves about to crack. This was more dangerous than they realized. What could they do? Maximus, they shouted. Is this really something we should do? But Maximus had climbed up ahead. They didn't know where he'd gone. And now the whole expedition was about to go wrong. As the kids climbed up, scared, and looking over their backs, they heard a wolf in the distance. And a sudden loud crack! Ah! Screamed Maximus. He crashed through the beams, tumbled down through the roof, while the others screamed. My ankle is broken! I heard it break! I'm totally stuck! This whole stupid thing was fake! The kids were all panicking. What would they do? They turned to brave Felix. Felix, you always know what to do. We need to help Maximus, and we need to get home. But we're totally stuck. And there's no reception on our phones. Felix had an idea, and he reached into his bag. He always carried supplies in case things turned bad. He loved camping and the outdoors and was always prepared. He tried to show the others that he wasn't scared. He gathered some sticks and made a circle of rocks in the grass outside, and then he grabbed a matchbox. He lit a small fire and told the others to wait. It felt like Felix's campfire held all of their fate. With a crackle and a glow, the smoke started to rise and caught the attention of the parents. They couldn't believe their eyes. Look, there's smoke in the woods. Could that be where they are? Soon the kids heard the sound of a load of police cars. The kids were all found. They were emotional and relieved, but they all turned to Maximus gravely. It was his lies they had believed. You put us all at risk, and you got seriously hurt. You see? You let us down. You're a liar. Is this who you want to be? Felix's sister Jessie was saying what everyone thought. The parents, the teachers, and the police they had brought. Your lies are a dangerous problem. An officer scowled as Maximus grabbed his ankle. Through tears, he raged and growled. The wrath of the crowd, the embarrassment in his gut. Maximus felt sick, and he was truly stuck in a rut. Should he accept responsibility and say sorry to them all? Or would his stubbornness and pride be his downfall?